Did you know that some of the most common foods we stash in our fridge every day might actually be losing their flavor? Or even worse, their nutrients? That's right. Your fridge could be the last place certain foods want to be. Keeping them there could mean more than just bland taste. You might be making them unsafe. Today, we're counting down 12 foods you should never put in the fridge. Trust me, you'll be surprised at how many of these you have chilling right now. So, if you want to keep your food fresh, your flavors bold, and your ingredients safe, stay tuned. Oh, and before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. You won't want to miss out on any more kitchen-saving secrets. Ready? Let's jump in. All right, let's start off strong with a food most of us probably have in our fridge right now. Food number 1, tomatoes. Tomatoes are like the royalty of summer produce. Rich, juicy, and packed with flavor. But when you put them in the fridge, well, it's almost like locking a lion in a tiny cage. The cold temperature messes with their natural ripening process, turning them mealy and dull. Think about it. You cut into a tomato expecting that sweet, juicy burst, but it's just bland. That's your fridge's doing. For the best flavor, keep them out on the counter at room temperature, and you'll be rewarded with a tomato that tastes as fresh as the day it was picked. Food number 2, potatoes. Next up, the humble potato. Now, I know we all love our mashed potatoes, fries, and roasted potatoes, but if you've been storing them in the fridge, you're actually setting them up to turn sweet. When potatoes get cold, their starches turn into sugar, leading to an odd, overly sweet flavor when you cook them. Worse yet, this sugar can form a chemical called acrylamide when exposed to high heat, something you definitely don't want to be consuming. So do yourself a favor and keep those spuds in a cool, dry spot outside the fridge. Your mashed potatoes will thank you. Food number 3, onions. Onions. The ingredient that brings tears to our eyes but adds depth to our meals. And when you put them in the fridge, things get messy. Cold temperatures make onions mushy and moldy much faster. Plus, onions have this knack for absorbing the flavors around them. So if you've got leftovers or strong-smelling foods, your onions are soaking it all up like a sponge. Food number 4, avocados. Avocados are the ultimate millennial fruit, right? But keeping an unripe avocado in the fridge is like hitting the pause button on its ripening process. Avocados need room temperature to ripen perfectly. So putting them in the fridge too soon just means a longer wait until you can make that guac. But here's the trick. Once it's ripe, then you can pop it in the fridge to keep it fresh for a couple more days. Timing is everything with avocados. Food number 5, garlic. Garlic is like that friend who thrives in the spotlight, not hidden away in the cold. When you stash garlic in the fridge, it's more likely to sprout and get rubbery. Not only does this ruin the texture, but it also affects that bold, delicious flavor. Garlic loves a cool, dry place with good airflow. A pantry or cupboard is perfect. Food number 6, bread. Yes, believe it or not, bread. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I don't want my bread to go stale. But the fridge is not the answer. Cold temperatures speed up the staling process, leaving you with dry, crumbly slices in no time. If you really want to keep bread fresh longer, try freezing it instead. Just pop a slice in the toaster, and it's as good as new. Food number 7, honey. Here's a sweet one, honey. Did you know honey is one of the few foods that never actually spoils? That's because it's naturally antibacterial and contains almost no moisture. But putting it in the fridge? Big mistake. It crystallizes and becomes gritty. Keep honey at room temperature in a tightly sealed container, and it'll stay smooth and pourable for ages. Food number 8, coffee beans. We all know that feeling, waking up and looking forward to that first sip of coffee. But storing your coffee beans in the fridge could be ruining that experience. Coffee is a sponge for odors, and in the fridge, it absorbs moisture and other flavors that can mess up that perfect cup. For fresh-tasting coffee, store those beans in an airtight container, somewhere dark and dry. Your mornings will be so much better for it. Food number 9, olive oil. Olive oil is a kitchen staple, but when you put it in the fridge, it turns cloudy and solidifies. And that's not good for cooking or drizzling. Keep olive oil in a cool, dark cabinet, and it'll stay fresh and flavorful for much longer. Food number 10, bananas. Ever noticed how quickly bananas turn brown in the fridge? That's because bananas are tropical fruit and don't love the cold. The fridge actually slows down the ripening process, but the skin turns brown faster due to the chill. Keep your bananas on the counter until they're ripe, and if they're getting too ripe, freeze them for smoothies or baking later. Food number 11, melons, whole. Once you cut into a melon, sure, it needs to be refrigerated, but if it's whole, keep it on the counter. Refrigerating whole melons can actually reduce their antioxidants, So keep them out until they're ready to slice. Food number 12, peanut butter. Last but not least, peanut butter. If you've ever tried spreading cold peanut butter, you know the struggle. There's no need to keep it in the fridge. A cool, dark cupboard is just fine to keep it creamy and delicious. And there you have it, 12 foods that you'll want to keep far away from your fridge. These simple changes can make a huge difference in your food's flavor, texture, and even safety. So, which of these were you guilty of refrigerating? Go ahead, let us know in the comments. And if you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on our next food-saving, flavor-boosting video. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes your food just needs a little room to breathe.